Hello and welcome to ERL Racing tonight for Tier 2 for obviously round 1 of the brand new season. I am joined by co-commentator or co-host Mufasa. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm all right, thanks. Looking forward to this one. Exciting race here in Melbourne. First one of the season for Tier 2 tonight.
Yep, of course, Melbourne is a difficult street track with a lot of different tricky corners. Barriers very, very close. Obviously, Tier 1 was here last night, which you raced in. Is there any
Do you,
secret tips you'd give for the drivers that are racing out there tonight? Or
um, do you really need me to remind me of what happened yesterday? Uh,
yes, we do.
um, the curbs here are really nasty at some places, especially on the first laps in a race when your tires are cold or you're following somebody very closely. You don't want to go full send, as if you go over some of these curbs full throttle, they will instantly unbalance the car and tip you over the edge into a wall. That's my
Yeah.
my main trick, I think, for tonight's guys.
Yep. No, I think you are absolutely right. In terms of the curbs being very volatile around here, it's a quite a bumpy track as well, which can be a bit difficult at times to probably get the braking a little bit right, especially like there's a little, I don't know what turn is. You know the turn after the third DRS zone, where it used to be the second. There's a little bit
Turn
of
9
a
and 10, the very fast chicane left and right.
just after 10, so I think it's going down into 11 or 12. There's a bump
Yeah,
on the right. I don't know if you've ever
uh,
experienced it
that,
in the game.
yeah.
Just, yeah,
You mean
throws
the
you.
curb itself or the track?
The track, just the track, literally. Avoid that part of the track, the inside on that part,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, other than that, it's a nice track overall. To be fair, one of my favourite tracks, I think, personally. Not necessarily in the game, but just in general. I quite like Australia. There's something to Australia that, yeah, I just like personally. It's different.
I very much love practicing for Australia. Normally it's a track I hate, but this time round it seemed to really uh, come my way. But then I had mislooked at the weather, so I didn't put any wet practice in. So when the rain came, I just got completely screwed. But it is a fun track. It keeps you on your toes from the moment you get off the line till the end of the finish, right? Basically.
Yeah, obviously no room for error around here. Obviously there is pretty much grass and gravel and barriers always there to punish you if you do make a mistake around here. And Pringle is about to then start the first flying lap then of the day as he then
Yes.
heads across the line then up towards turn number 1.
And
It's looking
interestingly,
rather
uh, sorry to interrupt, but I don't know if you saw, but Daisy Bundy got a 5-place grid penalty for the race already for a collision, I think, with somebody else. So that's a bad start of the day for him.
yeah, that's not going to help his case, well, for tonight in terms of getting a decent qualifying result, I suppose. But if he gets pole, I suppose wouldn't be too disappointed with that 5th place. But
No.
that's a big if though, um,
You did
because yeah.
comms here last week in pre-season. Who were the fast guys to be looking out for?
Well, had quite a few. Obviously, Lewis was up there, if I rightly remember.
Yeah.
Limited Danny, he done well last
Right.
week, from what I recall. Also, Cavolis, Piano Jam. There's quite a few, obviously, fast drivers. Can't remember who won it. We've got the winner on the track. It might have been Witty, if I remember.
Witty?
I think he won it. Or was it Vigo? Vigo is really, really quick, actually, to be fair. He was pretty much up there. Both AlphaTauris, I think, were, from what I recall, up there. And also Pringles did quite good pace, if I recall. I'd have to really go back and watch the entire stream. But yeah, Pringles does the first pole of the day.
Yeah. And
Limited
broken
Danny.
already by Danny.
Yep. showing already his pace.
Yeah, I mean, in the dry, I think, went around 1:17.0 yesterday or something along those lines, 17.5. So these guys, I think, are generally slightly faster. So these guys' time should be coming down, and I expect these to be all very sensible banker laps.
Yeah. From what I recall last week, Tier 2 was ended up being quicker than Tier 1, of course, which doesn't
Yeah.
happen obviously too often, but could happen again today, I suppose.
I think it's bound to happen. I think they were about 3/10 faster. And the way we've done it is that we've numbered the tiers based on the days they race. So tier 1 isn't per se the faster tier. And tier 3 isn't per se the slowest tier. In fact, tier 3 is expected to be the fastest tier.
Yeah.
I know it's a bit confusing.
No, that's alright. Obviously, I know Tier 2 is now crossplay, so it does open up a bit more like floor, I suppose, to have newer drivers in the league or drivers that couldn't be part of the community and active. So Iron Kid explaining that to me, and Vigo already doing a 18.2, so that's
Good lap by
getting
him.
that closer down. Yeah, that's a very good lap. Already about 4/10 ahead of the rest, so that is a very decent lap by Vigo.
We got Will there, who retired. Didn't quite see what happened there, but he got a slow lap and then retired.
Yeah, to be fair, I think was on board with the AlphaTauri and the Mercedes at the time. Vigo, not really sure that. Well, I think that one could be heading towards the stewards a bit later on today. To be fair,
Lovely.
So, yeah, exactly. Still,
I think you're right. I can already see
Storms
something on the chat.
on a lap. He's about to finish a lap then here. He done pretty decent from what I recall last week. Stormzy or Storm, who is gonna set then his first lap and does an 18.3. So not too bad from him. Only a few thousandths behind. So I think Costa is the next one across the line, but he's actually invalid. So I think he's begun a new lap out there actually for Costa or Kossar. I don't really.
Kostasar, yeah.
Kostasar.
One of our Greek drivers, one of the many we have in the league now.
Yep. Got a few Greek drivers. Obviously, this league does. A lot of Dutch drivers, to be fair.
A lot of Dutch drivers, yeah.
Yeah.
Limited Dani binned as well. I think that was in turn 12 or between 11 and 12. He might have hit that curb or just over throttled it. It's a very heavy traction zone, that one.
So Kostasar middle sector 45.2 then as we continue right on board. I think he's the only driver actually doing a competitive hot lap. There is a few more behind him.
Mikey is on a lap. I'm following him in his Ferrari. He is going through the second sector now. So I'll keep an eye on him, see what he's doing. He's on his first lap.
Yep, and Kostasar is about to come up to the line and to complete this lap off. And where will this put him? Puts him into 11th, just outside the top 10. So not a bad effort by him.
He's going over the line. And he's put in a 19.0. Good for 8th. And Mikey is now about to cross the finish line, looking to be a decent lap. Yeah, ball time.
Yeah.
17s for the first time tonight, 17.9.
Yeah, that's a very good lap time by Mikey.
It is.
Raises that bar ever so more.
Yeah, Tilfy's on a hot lap as well. Just entered the third sector, the very tricky last corners of the lap. I struggled myself here to nail the lap together because it's so easy to mess it up here and be slow. Let's see what he does. 19.3, not best of laps.
Still
but good enough for P13.
To be fair, that middle from 9th down to about, well, 14th, 15th. It's quite what you call it, condensed, I suppose, between
Yeah.
everyone in terms of lap time. Only about 4 tenths in it, so only takes a couple of good tenths and literally be up the order now. Cavolis is on an outlap. Let's see if anyone's on
Wait.
a improvement. I think the Mac has actually started fresh lap. Has a bit of traffic, to be fair, ahead of him. With the two, I think, AlphaTauris and Red Bull, so obviously might get in the way. I think Rebels keeping nicely out of the way there with the Alfa Romeo, so getting probably a little bit of a tow and assistance, probably picking up a bit of more straight line speed from the Rebel. However, will be affecting potentially him in the corners with a bit of dirty air. But I think Rebel is actually on a hot lap as well, to be fair, as Rebel
If that's
now
the
jumps out of the way.
if that's the Red Bull of Robbo, he was on a hot lap, but he wasn't quite improving.
So Demac will come around the final corner and gets a big slide, almost losing the car completely then through that final turn, but is going to still improve and jumps all the way up to 4th position. So that's a very nice improvement by the Alpine driver of Demac. Piano Jam is next to come across the line. Then,
Yeah, he's wobbly a little bit to me. Is he?
and he's invalidated.
Connection? How's his connection for me, for you? Because he was wobbling all over the place for me.
To be fair, I only picked him up at the start of the lap, the end of the lap, sorry. So I wouldn't really like to make any sort of like judgment upon that, you know, if you know what I mean.
That's fair enough.
I'd have to sit a bit more on board with him to see if that is the case or
Let's
not.
see, Whitey is about to cross the line for his lap. Improves by 2 tenths, putting it as a 19.3, good enough for P14.
Yeah. And Hong Song, I think, is maybe the next driver who actually hasn't set a lap yet. About to set a lap now. Gonna quickly see if Vigo is on a lap quickly.
I think
Vigo invalidated.
Right. I think the Ferrari driver you mentioned before, that's Hodgson. He used the 5 as an S, it's one of those. I only know this because his Discord name is with an S.
Oh, that's fair enough. Hodgson. So that's a bit there. Yeah. Cool. A little bit of a
wobble.
And
he keeps it alive.
Clamps the wall. That's going to really hurt though his lap time. Still gets time on the board though, with a 120, but yeah.
He's lucky not to get his wheel knocked off there.
Yeah, that could have easily been a DNF for
absolutely.
Watson. Cavolis will be the next driver around though.
Yeah, last driver to set his first lap, and what will it be?
Yep. Does a 1:18. Not bad. Gets him in the top 10.
Yeah. And P18 all the way to, what is it, P5 are covered by less than a second.
Yeah, pretty tight margins.
Pretty good going.
So, obviously, some of them drivers will have obviously time, well, everyone will probably have time to set another lap or two even. Even probably Vigo could commit to this lap and then come back in still, but I think he's just going to come back in anyway. What about
Lazosa was on an equal time, but he decided to come into the pits for a new set of tires. Lots of bleeds, and he bins it on the start-finish line. He binned it out of the last corner, lost his wing.
Yeah. Not sure if the Ferrari might have put him off a little bit there, as the Ferrari came sort of in. I think Ferrari looked a bit out of shape, so not blaming the Ferrari, but, you know, could have been a bit of
Could have been a distracting factor.
Yeah. Still, I think everyone has either done a lap or is now pretty much...
Costasar is on one, and he seems to be improving by half a second, if that is correct. But he's not even went through the first sector, so I'm not sure how accurate that is.
Yeah, I don't think that's very accurate. He's recharging battery, to be fair.
Fair enough. So that maybe that was the end of his lap then.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone is either trying to get
Aquila
back
is
to
starting
pit
one
lane
now.
or whatever.
He's literally just starting now.
Yep, so right on board then with the Red Bull driver. Do you want to do a commentary on how to drive a lap?
Yeah. DRS straight between turn 2 and 3. Late braking here on the left hand side of the corner. Down to third gear onto the exits. Switch up to the fourth gear through the fourth corner. Switched on to the left hand side of the track again for turn 5. Easy to lose the car here. And then into the 6, 7 turn chicane. And then into turn 8, which they call a turn, but actually is the start of a not so curved, not so straight with the DRS onto turn 9 and 10, which is a fast left hand and then right hand chicane, and it's very easy to bottle the lap here. He's getting a bit of a toe, it seems, goes wide and invalidates. And that's a shame. Into turn 11
Yeah.
for sector 3.
Still might have time to just get in and out if he, pretty much gets back into pit lane quick enough. As it is a short out lap, obviously, here.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a very, very tight turnaround, that is, for him.
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's just going to be a bit tight, that's all.
It is, yeah. Tilfy's on an improvement at the moment of 10th and a half. Got a yellow flag somewhere. Can't see why. Must be cars going slow to let one through.
Now 3 tenths up, Tilfy is in the middle. So
bit of a wobble out of turn 10 there. And here's that turn 11 straight where you sat. There was a bit of a wobble on the inside. That curb on the inside is quite high as well. We just pick up the lap through turn 12. Switch it around to turn 13. Short shift into fourth to keep it together onto the exit of the last corner. DRS open, and that then completes the lap. And that is a 19.0, taking him up into 13th.
Yeah.
And now he needs to stay out of the way of the McLaren behind him, not to impede. He does so at a weird spot, but it works.
Yeah, and unfortunately for McLaren, they've invalidated. Not sure if they'll have enough time to get back around. Now, Robbo is on a decent improvement here, up by almost 4 tenths, so this would see him jump potentially up into the top 4, and it does see him jump up. And there we go, 18.
You called it.
Yep. Right, Lawson has invalidated. Piano Jam just really at the beginning of his lap. Glenn isn't improving. Pringles obviously has invalidated. Whitey has jumped up to now 12th, so see if anyone else is improving besides, Robbo at the moment, who's the only real improvement out there so far, as Lewis is about to complete first sector, even though it hasn't told me what his first sector exactly was. So far, probably one of the only drivers right now you'd have to consider maybe in with a shower pole at the moment, even though Vigo could be also up there, currently improving by 36 thousandths of a second, so is improving ever so slightly, not enough really to get pole at the moment. This wouldn't be by Lewis. Vigo obviously will see how he develops on his lap in a second. Same with
Williams bins it.
Yeah, and that's him around. His teammate doesn't seem to be improving, so the Mac will go back to then.
And Lewis has beached the car. He's stuck in the grass, I think.
So that's pretty much his qualifying all but over. Then for the Williams driver, as the Mac
he gets it going.
Around.
But yeah, it is quali over. He goes back into the pit, and that is it.
Yeah. And Mac then round in the final corner, so far up by about 10th and a half, so would potentially see him jump back ahead of Robbo if this goes. In fact, goes right to the top So that's a massive improvement.
17.7, that's a good time. I'm riding on board with Vigo. He's doing a lap now. His previous lap was on a medium tire. This seems to be decent. And he's making it a 17.3, taking provisional pole for the moment. 4/10 of a gap between him and Dimac.
Yeah, I don't think...
Lots of leads going in. Costasar, he's not on the fast lap.
No,
I think that's it.
Yep. So, there we go then. Vigo is your pole sitter for this race by half a second, which is quite monstrous, really. I think we had a 17.8 yesterday in Tier 1.
17.8, you say?
Yeah, it was something like that. It weren't in the 16s, was it? Or was it 17.5? Might have been 17.5. It was about half a second. I know it was half a second the gap. It was a pretty big gap. But yeah. That's all I remember. It was about half a second. It's like it is here, really, between Damac and Vigo. But yeah, Mikey third, Lewis in fourth, Robbo fifth, Storms in then sixth, then West Lionel Bloodlead in seventh. Then we've got Limited Danny, eighth, and Costa in ninth, and then Luzon in 10th. So, outside of the top 10, we have Piano Jam, Witty in, Glenn in 12th, Witty in 13th, Cavolis 14th, Tiffy in 14th, then Bundy, is it Bundy? JC Bundy in 16th, Pringles is in 17th, then Eckler is in 18th, then Hodgson is 19th, and then Wilder rounds out the back of grid. However, obviously, Tiffy and Bundy have both got themselves 5-place grid penalties, which I think will see them drop to the back of the grid. So they'll be the back two on the grid.
Yeah.
Has anyone else got a penalty? Not entirely too sure, but certainly them two got penalties.
And just as a comparison, as we got some time to kill anyway, Paul yesterday, Tier 1, was 1:17.399, so only 88 thousandths of a second slower. And you're right, it was a 0.6 of a gap to P2 yesterday.
Yeah, it was about big gap to P2.
Yeah, slightly bigger than what we have today, but still quite a good gap between P1 and P2 today.
Exactly. So
now, somebody mentioned that it was supposed to be dynamic weather, which I did set. I know that for sure. So I'm guessing it's going to be an all dry race.
I think I'd like a dry race after yesterday.
Yeah, I would have loved a dry race yesterday.
But nonetheless, about to go then racing, and we are go, even though the drivers aren't go on my screen, yeah. So they're now gone.
Got a Red Bull stuck on the grid.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't cause a safety car. I think it's Robbo.
It's Robbo. Yeah, it's Robbo. He's gone now. He's driving.
And there's been actually a huge collision.
Oh, yes.
Out the race. So he is out, and we've got
a full track safety car.
So we were literally saying about 40 seconds ago, hopefully no safety cars. And within 40 seconds, we have put the curse on it and got a safety car. Lovely.
Awesome. So, if that ain't a commentator's curse, I don't know what is.
Nope. Robbo has though got going, so that's good news. Yeah. Not sure why he didn't get off the grid. Maybe a bug or whatever.
It wouldn't be EA without a bug race.
Nope.
Looking to see if I can see any damage on any of the cars to see who was involved in that accident. So far I see all wings attached still.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure who was involved, to be fair.
It is an easy place to just bin it on your own at the exit of turn 2. If you just bin it, just going a little bit too optimistic on the cold tires behind of all the cars. The dirty air can be a real killer here.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's not the best of tracks. It's very unforgiving, this track, to be fair. So
It is.
yeah, probably the hope of not having a safety car around Australia was a bit naive, to be fair. So yeah.
Alright, drivers are now catching up to the safety car. We've got two drivers in the pits, Hodgkin and Aquila. Both going for new medium tires. With a bit of safety car driving, that should get them to about lap 18 without dropping off too much.
Yeah.
And then softs for the ends of that.
Even though softs don't really last long around here.
In case somebody is listening and they want to do a tricky one or a fast one, I've managed to get them on a one-stop medium to soft in one of my practice races from around lap 15, 16, switching onto the softs, and they managed to stay alive.
Yeah. I mean, they do work, but just yeah, I don't know. If everyone's doing that strategy, then obviously best do that strategy, if you know what I mean. But I probably prefer medium hards myself.
Yeah, I think that's the main strategy here for most of the drivers. I see a few drivers are on soft tires from the start. They might be thinking of doing soft to medium. I think that's a bit of a stretch, because I don't think the soft tires will last that long on the first stint. They last a bit longer on the second stint, and that's just enough to keep them to the end.
Yeah.
This safety car actually might help them.
Probably will. The safety car definitely help them. If they can get them to like lap 10, I suppose that'd be decent to maybe put on a set of hards or mediums up to them really at that point. But still a long way to go on mediums, I just think, from lap 10. Like, you're going to have a serious offset to the rest.
Yeah, that's 19 laps on the mediums. That is quite long. If they can manage to get it to lap 12 maybe, that should get those tires to see the end of the race. And with a safety car and possibly another one, I think that's very much possible.
Yeah. I suppose the thing is, around obviously this circuit, you probably can bank on safety cars happening. It's probably, I don't know what the percentage chance is of the like one safety car, probably at least 80 to 90%, maybe two safety cars, 70% chance. So yeah, certainly a high chance for at least one or two safety cars around this circuit.
It's a quite incident-prone track.
Yeah. Busy night for the stewards, undoubtedly.
Surprisingly, only 2 incidents from yesterday.
Yeah, it was a clean incident race yesterday, to be fair, I think. Weren't that bad.
There were a few incidents, but I think most drivers realized that all the incidents they were in were basically racing incidents, so wasn't any point in putting them in.
Yeah.
No, just
anyway,
unlucky with the wet.
We're going to go racing once more. Vigo is controlling the pace then, and it'll be his decision when to basically bolt out the final corner. Obviously can take them all the way to the line. If he, I suppose, wants to do, but I think, is he going to go now? Not quite. Almost teasing it.
I can already see the drama behind unfolding, and there's contact in the back. We got a couple of cars dropping back. Is that Bobo dropping back again?
Gets a good restart though. Vigo has bolted from his rival Damac, but that did cause a lot of drama. As we've got
a Mercedes spinning, and that's Whitey or Witty. whatever you call him. I'm sure I saw a wing flying as well, but I can't see whose that was. Piano Jam. Piano, if you're listening, if that was just out of nowhere, you can get that removed.
Not really too sure who lost their wing, but nonetheless, getting back to racing action then, we've got Tiffy right now, putting a little bit of pressure on on his rival, but McLaren of Westbound or Bloodbead is going then up the inside of Danny, and Danny...
We got two more DNFs.
He's not through. And we've got now a second safety car.
Glenn and Tiffy DNF'd, and that happened around turn 9 and 10. I could see the debris flying in the background, but I couldn't quite see what happened.
So, second safety car of the evening already. Only, well, half a lap of racing we've had then so far. And we're on our second safety car this evening, which could be worse, I suppose.
Lap 4 and 2 safety cars. That's not a great start, though.
Nope. I suppose it's good for the medium runners than this second safety car and the softs. Piano Jam going on the hards.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're on the softs, would you now bolt on a couple of hard tires and take them to the end?
Probably not, no.
I think too early for that.
I think I'd do what Mikey and Limited Danny and Pringles is doing, go softs. I might even do what Costa's doing and put on a fresh set of softs, really, if being honest. But yeah.
Lots of Bleed and Lozozen have bolted on a pair of new mediums.
Can clearly see which way this race is going, in a sense. Just going to be a few safety cars then, I suppose, tonight. But that isn't a bad thing, just makes it a bit more chaotic, I suppose.
A lot more chaotic, and it also means you've got to be really careful with your time penalties, because if you get a last lap safety car, which is bound to happen on a race that's already involving like this is, those are going to cost you dearly.
Oh, you'd be cooked on that final safety car. Ultimately, if you had that sort of issue. Yeah, I think it was, I can't remember who, Perez, I think it was, had like 5 seconds on that safety car when ended under safety car in Melbourne earlier this season. Cost him podium, and it cost him literally a top 10. Absolutely got fried, he did. From that. So.
It's compared to how close the walls are, it's still quite easily to get track limits over here. The game gives you an instant 3-second penalty if you go wide in turn 4, saying it's multiple warnings, even though it's your first warning.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I've got 3 of those yesterday. I got 9 seconds worth of track turn 4 penalties. Just by going over it once, it instantly gave me 3 seconds.
Yeah, no, I've done it a few times. Got about, I think, a 6-second penalty from it once, and a 9. Well, I don't think I got 9 seconds, but 6 seconds I've given from that turn 4. That turn 4 is just an EA thing.
It is,
really.
Yeah. It's really weird.
But yeah, no, you are right. Like, one thing I never understood is why is there track limits at Monaco? I know there's
at the exit of the tunnel you can cut the corner.
No, I mean if you touch the wall on,
it still gives you a track limit.
Yeah, it will invalidate you, like in qualifying or in time trial. I've never fully understood that. I'm not saying obviously like probably wall riding. Maybe they're trying to, sort out. Because, even though there was a driver in a NASCAR who actually did do wall riding. Don't know if you saw that video.
Oh yes, that was quite incredible.
Yeah, it was. But yeah. I don't think anyone would do wall riding around Monaco. That'd be just silly.
Especially in an F1 car, because you just wreck your car.
Yeah.
Those NASCAR can have a bit more.
Exactly. These cars are pretty flimsy. Still, Balgo racing one more, well, for the second time then. Is Vigo going to go a bit sooner? Is he going to do a similar sort of trick to what he did last time? Again, seemingly backing them up. Not as much this time. Goes a bit sooner, but did back them up again.
The drivers were prepared for it this time though. No crashes behind him this time around.
Yeah, got away cleanly, and this time the Mac is a lot much closer to the back of the AlphaTauri driver on that safety car restart, and Mikey's doing well to keep up with the front two as well. Obviously is on the softs, so going a bit further back, anyone making any sort of moves?
Lalozen, Kossasar and Aquila are fighting it out with the three of them together. Already 1 or 2 position changes on this restart. Really great battle so far.
Yeah, Lozen currently defending from Kostasar, who I think is in the, well, giving a bit of a slipstream to the Haas. Then there. So now Lozen has got a good exit out of there and will come on the attack to attack Elka, who
seems to have lower arrow as well.
Yeah, and also got Bleed going around the outside of the McLaren of Pringles, and that's Bleed up then into 11th. So that's him off, well, up, well, Pringles are now
McLaren off the track.
And gets a little bit tagged by Elka as he rejoined, but doesn't hurt him. And we've got another safety car.
Why have we got another safety car?
I think
is it the McLaren of Wilder?
Yeah, Wilder has lost his entire front wing. So
yeah, that doesn't help.
No. So we're already on our third safety car, less than 10 laps into the race.
How much is the maximum? Is it 5 in this game?
5, yeah. We're almost there.
Yeah. Finally.
So, yeah. Still could be worse.
Could have had a red flag.
Exactly. To be fair, is red flag on?
I don't think I turned it on, to be honest.
Oh, that's good. Because I was about to say, you were going to attempt it there. Literally.
We have discussed it earlier, but initially it brought out some glitches when they brought it into the game first. Then supposedly they were fixed, so we turned it on, and they weren't. So they messed up 1 or 2 races. So I think that's why we went, maybe stop it again.
Yeah, no, that's wise.
Ooh, and Vigo did a bit of a dummy there into the pit. Didn't quite cross the line with all 4 wheels. But he tried to see if he could make others go, and 4 drivers behind him went for it and are in the pit.
So, well, to be fair, I'm not actually really sure if that's a smart move by Vigo or a not so smart move. Because to be fair, a lot of the others have actually pitted. Demac, interestingly, going on to softs, so clearly he's maybe anticipating still more safety cars, if not looking to be very quick now in the second, well, doing the 2-stop that have him committed to now. Otherwise, Mikey gone for the hards. Lewis also softs, limited Danny mediums, and Wilder put on a fresh set of softs who caused the safety car accidentally. So, yeah, once again on the third safety car, and hopefully this one won't last too long because Wilder is at the back of the grid and not too far behind the pack, so probably got 1 more lap for this one.
Yeah. In the chat on Discord, we've got a request from Charlie Spin King Harris, who I believe was the first DNFer yesterday, possibly. Anyhow, he is now. But a request to use interval rather than time to leader. And I think that one's for you as you're the main streamer.
Yeah, no problem. Can change that.
His,
There we go.
his little brain otherwise can't calculate where everybody is.
Yeah, that's alright. To be fair, I'm not gonna lie. I hate the interval. I don't know.
Yeah, for pit stops it's quite easy to see where somebody is falling back to.
Yeah, just I've never been a fan of interval. I prefer leader. To be fair, but no, that's done anyway. Don't make too much.
We got
of
a safety car already restarting, and Vigo's gone early this time,
Yeah.
and immediately pulled a gap of 1.2 seconds to Cavolis in P2.
To be fair, I'm as shocked as Cavolis there
Yeah.
on that one. But yeah, Vigo got a really nice restart on then that, and everyone behind Vigo is obviously on the same strategy as Vigo, so that will be beneficial. Obviously, Bleed and Luzon is on a bit of a different strategy, but both of them are on the medium compound. So the first real new or different strategy would have to be the Mac on 1 lap bold softs, or now 1 lap bold. So yeah. So we've got Bloodbleed fighting then Bundy, and Bloodbleed going to make up the position on Bundy, goes down the inside and gets the move done then before the quick left-right of turns 9 and 10, and used a bit of ERS to get that move done, but is now ahead of then Bundy, who is now down to 5th. And also in the background, I think Lozan is going to have a look at getting past then the Alpine of Bundy as well.
Yeah, there's 4 lap tyre difference in between them, but it definitely seems to be hurting Bundy. And he's dropping back, I think. Lozan's definitely going to have him.
Yeah, Lozan also setting fastest lap of the race, not though for that long.
Already.
The map beats it.
Yeah, exactly. And Lozan gets him into turn 3 on the braking, nice and clean. Not even needed the help of DRS. Covered him off into turn 4, and that's job done.
Yep, so he's next
Goes
target
a bit wide onto turn 5. That might give Bundy some fighting back around the straighter.
And now we've got Bloodbleed on the back of Robbo. Going to attempt this one around the outside. Going to have to be a bit brave to keep his foot in there. In the end, has to back out, but we'll have a second opportunity now down into turn 12.
We've got another DNF. It's Bundy and safety car. Number 4.
Yep, number 4, beautiful. So, probably this would be the ideal opportunity for those who didn't fit under the last safety car to come in.
Absolutely.
For whatever tyres they want to go for.
And Vigo doesn't. He stays out. Cavolis goes in. Robbo goes in. Blood to Bleed's been in earlier.
I am quite interested by Vigo's strategy today. Only cause, I know them tyres probably aren't too much percentage worn, but hopefully he does know the rules that you have to stop onto a different tyre.
I think he will know this. 12 laps, his tyre would normally be on about 40-ish%. With a bit of safety cars, they're probably not that bad.
No, to be fair, they're probably not that bad. Just a bit concerned, like, is he missing a opportunity, if you know what I mean? Because, yeah, Cavolis, Robbo, and Costa are going to be now really rapid on their fresh tyres, and same with Mikey. He's going to be really rapid for the rest of the race. And he's also got 2 quick drivers also behind him on fresh tyres or fresher tyres. Yeah, a bit concerned, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, Aquila and Vigo both didn't go in. 10 and 11 laps old now. I sort of see it for Aquila. I think he obviously had to go in after lap 1. He's now in P4, so he's redeemed himself quite a bit. But they might definitely be sitting ducks on this restart.
Yeah, indeed. So, have to wait and see what actually occurs on the safety car restart. But obviously, we're going for obviously another lap, so lap 13. Obviously are on the 4th safety car and potentially have a chance, I think, for a 5th. Then we'd have reached our safety car limit, I'm pretty sure, given it's on
I'm
reduced.
pretty sure it does, yeah. Reduced. There you mentioned something.
Imagine how many you could have on standard.
I'm looking now.
That is the, yeah.
Ooh. Aaronkit's saying 4 is the maximum.
To be fair, it could be the maximum. If it is the maximum, then that is brilliant news because
Yeah.
it should be then a clean, well, not necessarily a clean race, but no more safety cars at least to the end of Grand Prix. But yeah, that's why I would, if it is the maximum, then like, yeah, we'll have to see how much time Vigo loses when he comes in, and if he can then really make that up. Because he will lose a lot of time into the drivers that have stopped. It's about a 22-second pit stop, I think, around here.
Yeah, I think something around that.
Because it's about, I think, 12 under ordinary safety car. 12 or 13. I only remember that because of well, it was Vettel actually, 2018 or 17, I can't remember. I think it was 2018 where he jumped the Mercedes due to the safety car, virtual safety car, which was a new thing for 2018. So, going to go racing then, one more time. What will Vigo do on this restart? Obviously, so far, restart every single time. First 2 times, win a bit late. This time, again going early and gets again a good jump on Blood Bleed. So, obviously, that's
Lots of
going
bleeds,
to be
a little bit more awake than Cavolis, but still 9/10 of a second gap.
Yeah, a bit of a big gap. So still a good restart by Vigo. Potentially maybe
And we
Tar
got
working a
somebody
bit
dropping
better.
back.
Yeah, got
That was a
Witty.
Kilo dropping back.
So Witty as a
Oh, and Wilder sent it into turn 4.
yeah, has a little bit of contact between himself and Limited Danny and loses a lot of positions. Everyone pretty much coming past the Mercedes driver. Got to be careful with how he's defending there, and in fact the Haas driver Costa has lost a bit of his front wing end plate. I think is it Costa? Pretty sure it was one of them. Might have been a Ferrari actually. No, it was a Ferrari of Hodgson. Then losing his end plate there, so that's not going to help him. Robbo making up a move, and we've got Lozen out.
And safety car number 5.
Well, that is safety car number 5. Hopefully that's the limit now.
I hope so.
So,
what levels is 14?
I suppose we know who driver of the day is today.
It will be Bernd Mailander.
Yep. But Vigo going on to softs plus. Well, actually, to be fair, you said softs can make it from probably 15. So yeah, not bad.
I wonder who has listened.
Vigo. Everyone else going on to mediums, which, to be fair, isn't a bad shout either. But yeah, Vigo's going to be really, really rapid then towards the end of this race, and probably for the next 15 laps or so. But we will get a new safety car restart driver, I suppose, of the piano jump, who can restart this race for us.
Somebody is saying that the lobby doesn't show when it's green flag after the safety car. Have you ever seen that glitch before?
Yes, I have, where it stays yellow.
Oh, that is annoying, because then you can't overtake officially.
No, it literally just remains yellow, and yeah, you can't, well, you can overtake if you want a 5-second penalty, but yeah, you can't overtake. It's a really weird one. But then, I'm pretty sure if you just go around for another lap, you'll just clear back to green. So...
It's one of those.
Yeah, it's like the safety car doesn't come in, but it does actually come in then at the end of the next lap, it just clears back to the green, so usually that's what happens.
We did have one last season, I think it was Vegas, where we had exactly that.
Safety car
where
didn't come in.
Yeah, it said the safety car was coming in, but then it stayed out. It physically stayed out. So everybody was expecting a restart, but then we didn't. Caused a massive pile up, and the next lap it went in anyway. It was really bizarre.
Yep, indeed.
So, once again, thanks EA for all the glitches.
You gotta love EA though.
Only because they make you?
Nah, literally gotta love EA. If it wasn't for EA, you wouldn't have all these glitches.
Yeah, I loved it way better when it was just Cody.
Yeah, no, Cody.
I mean, we did curse at Codemaster once in a while because we had the odd glitch. But it was the odd glitch. You didn't have a glitch every single race.
Yeah. And also they knew what the players wanted in terms of what you call it, just everything. They knew what we wanted. Like, no one drives supercars. I really don't get why supercars are in the game.
No. Yeah, I don't get it. It blows my mind.
Don't get me wrong. If I want to drive supercars, I'd probably go to a Assetto Corsa or I don't know.
Maybe that's why they put it in to compete with those games.
Nah, but they're not even the same quality. It's just different. But anyway, we're gonna go racing once again. Piano Jam will restart here on the hards. Obviously does have Limited Danny on mediums, and Limited Danny sort of trying to pressurise him into going.
Yeah.
So
and
he's gone now.
And he's gone all the way to the inside.
Almost going into the barrier.
That might have been a traction issue, actually.
Could have been, to be fair. He's moving around, to be fair, quite a lot, so it could be also like a glitch, I suppose, or like not glitch.
A connection issue, lagging.
Yeah. Still, Limited Danny, I'm sure, will be looking to find a way through. Do have another yellow flag out there for Costa, I think it is, or for actually Bloodbleed, who is down.
Bloodbleed, he's all the way back. He spun and he's beached it on the curb. Yeah, and that was a valid reset to track there by Bloodbleed. He was curbed on the track. Nobody around, so decided to reset.
Vigo trying to get past Costa, who is right now gone off the track. That's a big moment for him, going to allow Vigo just to slip on through, and that's Vigo up into 5th.
And in the meantime, we had Limited Danny and now also Robbo overtaking Piano Jam for the lead in the race. Robbo on 5-lap old hards, Limited Danny on 8-lap old mediums. They are going to battle it out, I think, till the end of the race with the way we had the safety cars.
Yeah, probably are. To be fair, Robbo is probably in the better position between them two drivers being on the hards. Eventually, Limited Danny's tyres, I do expect, will fall off. But then the safety cars probably have helped him out a bit. And we've got actually 2 more retirements, so Lewis
G and Aquila.
Yeah, Aquila are out. Thank goodness though, no more safety cars. That
Yeah,
That has saved us.
don't jinx it.
To be fair, a 6th would be nice. No, it wouldn't.
Don't,
Anyway,
don't.
Vigo is on the move.
I'm keeping an eye on this battle because Robbo is gaining on limited Danny. Is he going for an overtake around the outside? No, he thinks better of it, but he's definitely all over limited Danny. And I know Robbo, I've raced with him for a fair few years now, and he can be a very fast driver and very difficult to fight off. He's normally a tier 1 driver. He should have raced yesterday, but he had some personal issues not to race. And he's definitely taking his revenge tonight.
Yep, and Vigo is literally, well, rolling up to the back of these two.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly. He made a fantastic move on Cavolis and sets the fastest lap, unsurprisingly, of this race.
Yeah.
So, sooner rather than later, you get the feeling probably Robbo will be passed by Vigo and then will be passing limited Danny. So,
Yeah.
well, how long can Robbo defend off the charging AlphaTauri then?
The defending to the AlphaTauri has given limited Danny some breathing space for now. He's pulling away from this battle a little bit, but surely Vigo is going to overtake Robbo here on the DRS straight with a fresher, softer tyres.
Yeah, Vigo obviously does have DRS, obviously Robbo doesn't. I'm not sure if Robbo will get DRS now. I'm not sure if that's the second activation zone.
No, there's one activation zone only.
So, can Vigo go around the outside? He's going to go for it. They both make a little bit of contact, and Robbo almost into the barrier. I think he did just keep it out of the barrier there.
He did keep it out of the barrier, and he keeps third position as well. He now has to go all the way back to regain the time lost, because I think he still can get P2 here. And if the tyres of Vigo drop off, he might even be able to get first as well. But he's now been overtaken by Mikey, taking the last podium spot for now. Robbo fighting back though.
Vigo has now taken the lead of the Grand Prix, then ahead of limited Danny. So really for now, Vigo is just about building out a gap. Now, Cavolis and Costa are battling out, but oddly, Costa is ghosted there for a second, and Cavolis has now been overtaken by Costa, who is now coming under pressure. Cavolis is by Pringles, who is going to be looking at getting the DRS then. Not sure if Costa's got it. I think he does, so that'll be important defence for Cavolis, who is going to use that and got another yellow
And Robbo
flag.
DNF'd.
So that's Robbo out. And that's then, well, unfortunately for him, not going to be P2 or P3. It's going to be absolutely nowhere. So we've only got 13 runners, is it, I think, in this race, or is it less? Might be actually 12.
It's 12, yeah. I think I saw what happened with Robbo. I was having that awful overview shot of turn 9 and 10. And I think he just went wide on turn 10. He destabilized a little bit, possibly on the curb, and just slammed into the wall, which is easily done there. It's a very tricky part of the track. During practice, I've definitely binned it into the wall a few times there as well.
Oh, I think we all have at that corner. That turn 10, the exit, is such a notorious corner, to be fair. You just gotta get a bit too greedy, and you're going one way and one way only into the wall.
It's one of those corners where you either got the curb completely and you just about don't get a track limit, or you stay off the curb completely. Anything in between will just wreck your car.
Yeah, pretty much. So Wilder picks up for 3 seconds then, but
and Cavola's going for a move on Costa's side, but he is too greedy going into the grass, hits the wall, is now overtaken by Pringles, goes a bit deep but keeps the position onto Pringles, and remains to fight another day. Driving back up to Costasar, but I think he might have... Yeah, he's got wing damage, so he's going into the pit now.
Yeah.
Pringles then nearly loses it on the exit, but gets DRS and is now going to be able to fight towards Costasar.
Yep. Obviously inherited that then P6, and for Kavolis, don't want to say it's his race over, but obviously that's going to be a real difficult fight to get back into, top 8, top 9 position it will be.
Yeah.
Probably can get top. I'm going to say probably can get Piano Jam. That's got to be his target now for Kavolis.
8.5 seconds, 7 laps, newer, fresher tyres. Yeah, that should be possible. Just had D-Mac going around the outside of Limited Danny in the run-up towards turn 9. Nice move there, very committed. Got it on before the turn in.
Yeah. Interestingly, Mikey has now managed to stabilise the gap between himself and Vigo, just hovering around that 2.7. On this lap, gone up a little bit between them two to now 3 seconds, so maybe Mikey...
Mikey went a bit wide in the last corners. That's what caused the 0.3 to be added onto the difference. But if the gap is stabilizing, that might be the switch over point between the two tires. But Mikey goes deep into turn 2 and D-Mac overtakes him for P2 now.
And for D-Mac, to be fair, he's got even fresher tires than Mikey. So might see that gap come down a bit more, obviously. Still, a number of laps to go. Those softs will probably be getting a bit worn now, I suspect, on Vigo's car. But
another yellow
good pace.
flag as Hodgkin retires. And that's lap 10 exit as well.
Yeah. Caught many, I think, people out that turn 10.
Yeah.
Today, to be fair. So...
D-Mac went wide in the exit of turn 10, a little bit of contact with the Ferrari of Mikey. Don't think there was any damage though, just a bit of time loss as they got together. Fighting it out through turn 11, and Limited Dani is joining the fight as well. Mikey now takes the position, and Limited Dani is having a look around the outside, but he's going deep, and that will keep him into P4 for now.
Good clean racing though, has to be said about really both of them doing well to give each other just enough space and respect on the track, which we love to see. But this battle between Mikey and Demac has cost them, now 5 seconds, as Demac's going to send it down the inside at turn 3, gets a position on the brakes.
Brilliant move.
Brilliant. Yeah. That was really nice.
Deep braking, really committed, but in a clean way. That's the way we like to see it. Mikey now in the chase for D-Mac had a bit of a wobble behind him, but he's staying right all over the diffuser of D-Mac and gets the DRS over here. So will he try and do it again? And will we see another turn 9 overtake? It's Limited Danny going for it. Is it 3 wide?
Almost.
Not quite. And they're still in the same order, and D-Mac has gained a little bit of time here on the both of them. And he needs to shake him off if he wants to have a go at Vigo here.
Yeah, does really need to shake them two off his rear gearbox. If he can just pull out a second, that would really help him. But it looks like Mikey's back within that 6/10 range, and again going to be really on the gearbox of the Alpine as we go down then the straight into turn 2. Is Mikey going to try and get a bit of revenge at turn 3 and basically do what D-Max did a lap ago? Not really too sure if he's got a good enough exit to maybe attempt that move. Has a little look, but not close enough, unfortunately, to even think of that, what D-Max did a lap ago. But that was a really clean move by D-Max, who obviously took the position off then Mikey. And Limited Danny's doing really well, considering he's got the oldest tyres within this group. Actually, he's doing really well to cling on to the back of these two. as we head into the final number of laps.
Yeah, and while we're talking, Cavoli is DNF'd as well. Couldn't quite see what happened, but he DNF'd. Limit Danny and Mikey still fighting.
Yep. So Mikey is now down into fourth, Limited Danny up into third. Demac has pulled out over a second of a gap now, but obviously got a huge gap to make up to the back of Vigo. I think Vigo's got this one covered now.
Yeah.
He can kind of afford to, well, he can afford to lose about 2 seconds a lap and probably would still be okay.
Yeah, it's if you include this lap, it's 4 laps to go. The gap was 8 seconds over the line, so exactly 2 seconds a lap he can lose. And I don't think he's even losing that much time, to be honest.
No, in fact he's pulling out another tenth on this lap, so make it 3 tenths. So he is pulling out a bit more of a gap then to his rivals behind. And Vigo absolutely dominating now in this race once it's properly got going, which it didn't properly obviously got going until about lap 16. So yeah, obviously that final safety car has been the final safety car, which is a good, and still got a good few battles. A nice battle between Limited Danny going on. Any other battles a bit down the field? Got Pringles gaining slightly onto the back of the now Wilder, who is currently on those softs. Might not be doing as good of a job, or trying to maybe suffering a bit more from the tyre wear effect compared to the race leader at the moment. Obviously does have a bit more dirty air potentially ahead of them. I'm not really sure what the gap is where you get affected by dirty air in F1 game.
That's a very good question. I don't quite know what that is either, to be honest.
Obviously, real life, I think it's about 6 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they made it 6 seconds in this game, to be honest.
Probably
I don't
not.
think it is.
I'm going to assume it's about 1.5.
If even that.
Yeah, exactly.
You do start to see your engine temp going up as soon as you're in 1 second of the car ahead. So maybe that's when it starts. We got Limited Danny trying a move around the outside into turn 9, but doesn't, but still stays all over the back of Mikey, gets the DRS. And will he now get him into turn 11? No, not quite this time around. Takes a shorter line, but that takes a bit more curb, hurting his exit. And now Mikey is able to pull away a little bit, surviving another day or another lap to stay on that podium. The last podium spot is really the only fight we've got going on.
Pretty much, it is indeed between Mikey and Limited Danny. I think P1 and P2 are now secure, pretty much. Still, maybe if the Mac makes a mistake, P2 is still up for grabs, but pretty much it is a battle then for P3 and P4 between Danny and Mikey. So
yeah, D-Mac doesn't quite have to push it anymore. He knows he's not going to get P1, and he knows that if he makes a mistake, he's going to lose P2. So all he has to do is cover the gap between himself and Mikey, which surprisingly now has gotten close to DRS. So I think he is taking a little bit less risk even. But maybe a bit too much, because now Mikey is back in his DRS again.
To be fair, Limited Danny is on 19 lap old tyres, so those mediums probably be nearing the end of their life cycle. Even though probably the softs would be limited. But Demac has picked up a 3-second time penalty, so that could be huge in terms of the gap. Currently, Danny would actually end on the podium. So that
he does need to push mistake.
now. Yeah. really, really needs
It's
to push.
one last quali lap for him to try and keep podium.
Effectively, for
It's 1.9
Demac.
seconds at the moment, 2 seconds. So he needs to pull away 1 second if he wants to stay on the podium. He won't be able to pull away enough from Mikey. He might just about be able to do enough to pull away from Limited Danny.
Currently, that gap is still not big enough, though.
2.2 at the moment.
Yeah, still got, though, 1.5 sectors to go in this race then. So currently Vigo's coming around the final few corners. It's now at 2.2 still, so still not big enough.
I don't think it's good enough, and Mikey's going for a move.
Yeah.
And he's fighting it. He's fighting it as well. That's not going to help his case.
No. But we'll go back to our race leader, who's about to win the Grand Prix. And Vigo takes the checkered flag and takes the win of this race. Mikey's going to come home then as runner-up then by, well, just over 12.5 seconds afield. And then the Mac's going to be ejected off the podium because Danny finishes within then that 3 seconds. Costa is going to then finish in P5, I think, unless he's got a big penalty. Nope, Bloodbead then takes that.
Yeah.
And Piano Jam P7. Wilder's going to come home in 8th. Pringles is P9. And then Whitey, or Witty, is going to be P10 and completes then the race for us today. So 10 finishers, and that was then the Australian Grand Prix then for today. Anyone for your driver of the day?
It's going to have to be Vigo. Faultless race from him, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Done a pitch perfect job. So, yeah, Vigo rightly won today.
Yeah.
So, right, Vigo then is your winner and takes fastest lap as well for good measure. Mikey P2, Limited Danny P3, Demac off the podium with the 3 seconds down in 4th. Bloodbleed is in 5th, then Cossa is in 6th. Piano Jam in 7th, Wilder in 8th, Pringles 9th, and Witty completes then the grid or the finishers. The non-finishers, well, we've got a lot of them. Cavolis, then Hodgson, then Robbo, Lewis, Eka, then Luzon, then Bundy, Glenn, Tiffy, and Storms is then your final DNF of the day. So that is then how they all finished. And this has been obviously ERL for tonight, and tomorrow be tier 3, I take it.
Correct.
For then, Wednesday, which hopefully will be another entertaining Australian Grand Prix. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day or great week, and less DNFs.
Yeah.